Okay, streaming. Click out. Click out. Okay, edit. Copy. To. Up. 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 Joe. Okay. And edit. Paste. Okay. Column that back in here. All right. Now. Okay. And, well, show is. All right, thanks, man. Waiting for Joe. Sent him the thing. All right, I'll share this to a couple more communities. And thanks, Canadian Bacon. All right. Yeah. Sure. All right. Joe is there. Hey, what's up, Jennifer? Hey, Joe, you're here.
Good evening. Good to be with you. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we got like 3 people. If that's all we get, I'm sure Ross got it because everything automatically goes to his.
Can you hear your global broadcaster, Joe Booni?
I could hear you fucking perfectly.
Great. That means the world is perfect once again.
I have a bad echo. I don't hear it. Okay, we were talking about the Blue Jays history, World Series back in the 90s. That was great. They had Paul Mulder. That guy's a legend.
1992, 1993, I wasn't even brought up. I wasn't even thought about in the world. But I remember watching the highlights on YouTube. 92, 93, that grand slam by Joe Carter. Touchable Joe, you will never hit a bigger home run in your life. And that was the last time we actually went to the World Series. Now you look at the Blue Jays, and today we're 5-8. We're struggling, but we're a rebuilt team. But going back to that Jose Bautista bat flip against the Texas Rangers, that was history that nobody will forget.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting season. Right now, Yankees are in first place, but they only have a 2-game lead over the Orioles and the Rays. So,
who would have thought about that? The Baltimore Orioles last year.
Now Canadians saying he can't understand anyone. I don't know. Maybe it's your end, man.
I'm
Jennifer.
gonna check it. No. I think you're perfect. Let me see. Maybe they're screwing around with us.
I don't know, man.
Let's see.
Hello, you can hear me, right?
Let's see.
And you see, she said, sounds okay to me.
Right now, Yankees are in first place, but they are playing now Canadian.
It's fine. It's fine. People are
So
screwing around.
Canadians, stop fucking around. This is not like with apologies or anything where it's a fucking joke. This is, hey, what's up, Prince?
Me, right? I can hear you. I'm not. Okay. That guy's a legend.
Series. Now you look at the Blue Jays. That's perfect. Okay. Yeah, so going back to your question, the Toronto Blue Jays are a rebuild team. They're 5-8. But you got to really talk about the New York Yankees.
Well, hold on. They're only 3 games behind. The Yankees, I'm not saying that the Yankees are going to fuck up. I'm just saying that the Yankees, I mean, you never know. The Blue Jays could get hot and they could come in second place.
I don't think that's going to happen because, once again, there isn't 162 games this year. They took more than half games off the schedule. What we need is more hitting, and we need to compete on the field on a daily basis. We really do. Like
That's true.
New York, they're 10-6. You guys are 4-0 at home, 6-6 away.
The Athletics have been on a tear. They're 12-4.
They're 10-6.
Yeah, that's the Yankees. I'm just looking at the A's, and they seem like the team to beat right now.
Well, the Oakland Athletics, they're one of those teams that are going to make some noise this year. You know, it's about time for Oakland to do something because Oakland got screwed a few years ago in that wild card game against the Kansas City Royals. I remember that. I was happy the Royals won that, but they got screwed with the umpiring calls. But you better watch out for the Athletics, and you better watch out for the Minnesota Twins. They're 10-6 and they're 7-1 at home.
And the Rockies are looking pretty good too.
That's a good question.
They're 5-2 and away at home, and 6-2 on the road. That's pretty good, man. 11-4, kicking ass and taking names.
Now, you as a Yankees fan, I have actually a question for you.
Yes. Go right ahead.
Let's go back to when the Astros beat you guys, and the evidence came out after the Astros cheating. What went through your mind?
What, man? We should have won that. We should have won. They cheated. We lost. They're paying the price now.
They're 6-9. They're struggling. They really are struggling.
Yeah.
One of my favorite players is Jose Altuve. I don't care what anybody says about that guy. He's one of my favorite guys. I watched him in Toronto at the Rogers Center. He's one dude that you don't want to mess with.
I think 60 games, it will be finished. They'll get to the playoffs, and it will be a short season. But, in a crisis like this, what can you do? You play the season you can play, and that's the end of it. You get to the playoffs, and somebody's going to win the World Series.
Tampa Bay, they're 8-8. You guys lost them earlier today, 4-3.
That's true.
They're one of those interesting teams this year. They're playing good at home. They're 8-3. Away, they're 0-5. They don't win a game on the road. And the last 10 games are 4-6. But going back to the Yankees, the last 10 games have been 500. 5-5.
Yeah.
Britt Gardner, one of my favorite players, is a Yankee. I love that guy.
Yeah, the Yankees are 4-0 at home, 6-6 on the road. They stinko-maninko on the road. But, maybe they'll get better on the road. You're not even 20 games into this. So maybe they'll get better, hopefully. Everybody's kind of getting like the kinks through.
Any good questions coming in, Kenny?
Well, all right. Who do you think has potential to go all the way and win the whole thing?
It's a great question. It's a great question.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now who's going to go all the way. And
Okay.
people are going to be surprised with my answer.
Since you're the expert, right?
You don't comment. I'm just an average 20-year-old guy who's.
All right. I
No,
mean,
it's a fact.
you're the guy going professional. You got the contract and all that, so you're like
Oh, for sure. I
an
guess
expert over me. I'm just a fan. You're like,
not only you're a fan, Kenny, but you are in my heart, brother, and I'll always be here for you. You're a great human being.
all right, man. Thank you. I feel
No
the same
problem.
about you. All right, but get with this prediction.
The Colorado Rockies.
I
They're
can
going to
see
be the
that.
team to surprise everybody.
I could see that they're in first place.
They are.
Yeah. I mean, anything's could happen at this point. That's not unreasonable. A first place team.
They're 11-4.
Yeah.
I
And
think they're going to do a lot of damage, you know.
and 5-2 at home, 6-2 on the road. That's pretty solid. They seem like a powerhouse at this point.
They're a solid team, and the last 10 games are 7-3. So watch out for the Rockies, but then watch out for the Dodgers. They need to win the World Series.
The
Kershaw
Dodgers
needs
are
to
only
win the World Series.
they're only 2.5 games back. I mean,
Wow.
no, they're only a half game back. The Dodgers, they're almost tied for first place. So they could give the Rockies a run for their money down the road.
They can. But I really believe the NL West, I think the Rockies can win that.
Or the Rockies slip next week, they could take over. They're only a half game back.
They are a half game back, but I just got a feeling with these Rockies, it's about time for these Rockies to do good, Years ago, they were a good team, and they're a rebuild team, and then look at them now. They are starting to be one of those teams like the Boston Red Sox, like the New York Yankees, like the Toronto Blue Jays back in 2015, 2016. All these teams. Look at the Giants. They used to be a really good team. They're struggling now. They're 7-10. Okay, they're 3-3 at home. They're 4-7 away, and the last 10 games are 4-6. They used to be a World Series team every single year. What happens now? They're rebuilding like the Rockies did for years on end. That's part of sports. It really is.
Yes, it is. One day you're on top. You go 4 or 5 years later, you stinko Manenko. It's the way things go.
And, let me ask you a question, Kenny. Why do you say that?
Well, it's kind of a funny thing to say, and I think of I'm looking like let's say I'm watching a stream or something. I'm like, this stream is the worst. It's stinko Manenko.
I like that. I like that quote. Is that your quote?
Yeah, that's my phrase.
Your phrase, and I'm gonna call it a phrase and a quote.
All right, and I'd like to say, what's up? Nat Clo has joined the chat.
Good question. Yes, talking about the Angels. Well, they're not playing like Angels right now. They're playing like the Devils. Remember the Devil Rays.
Yeah,
I am worried about the Angels. You look at Mike Trout. One of the best players on the field and off the field. I think they're not ready to be a World Series competing team. They're struggling. They really are struggling, and they need more. They really do need more. Like
they're in last place, 5-11.
Yes, they are.
Suck a motherfucker. They're the worst.
Talk about the Cubs. They're 10-3. They're playing great baseball, like they always do.
Well, that is true about those two streamers, but we're not really here to talk about them. This is about sports. We could talk about those two.
Texas Rangers, I don't think they're a good baseball team.
Some other time.
Good baseball team in years.
What about, okay.
That's an insult, Kenny. Somebody just said there should be no sports.
Shut up, Jennifer. All right. What about, how do you feel about, this keeps on being mentioned. I don't know if it's real. What about the Phil Rizzuto statue being taken down? How do you feel about it?
I got no comment on that.
Mm-hmm.
I got no comment on that.
I think if that comes down, it's a shame. Some statues, like Robert E. Lee, he was kind of racist. Maybe that should come down. But what did Phil Rizzuto do that was ever wrong? He's a great baseball hero. I love Phil. He's one of the best shortstops ever.
Great player, off
Yeah.
the field and on the field.
Yeah.
You know, this is the problem, Kenny, in today's day. And I'm going to say this professionally, and I'm going to say, like I would say, off live and on live. They're taking history away from sports. They're taking the name of the Washington Redskins away. They're taking the Cleveland Indians name away. They're taking the Edmonton Eskimos away. They're taking our sports rights. They're taking our rights away. It's very sad. It really is sad.
Well, you know, some people feel that that those names are the names of like some people. It's a tribe. Some people they're Native Americans and they don't want that. I mean, they were here first.
And it's their land, and they're proud of that. And they have the Indian flag. They have
Right.
it.
It shouldn't have been the name of the team to begin with.
But are they complaining? No. That is amazing. I would love to have a flag of Lebanon for every sport. That'd be great. You know.
Yeah, Prince. I remember those commercials with Phil Rizzuto. They were pretty good.
You know who's complaining? The people who run the business now. They feel that it's racist. It's not racist at all. It's been there for years on end, years on end. The Washington Redskin. Okay, you can take the name Redskin, but the logo? My God, if that guy was alive back then, that the guy who had the logo on there, he would be very pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense they're complaining 80 years later.
Yeah.
It's like I just read this great book by my friend Stephen Bless. This has nothing to do with sports, right? And in the epilogue, Hansel Dick Manitoba summed it up, right? Mm-hmm. Everything changes. New York changes. This isn't the New York of my dad's day. It's not even New York of my day. It's the New York of my kid's day, my son's day. All right, it's changed so much that's it's like conservative and yuppied. He doesn't like it, but you know he's not going to be able to change it. You got to get used to it. I'm with Dick, which is one of the greatest, Richard, one of the greatest punks in history. And I'm with him, man. You got to move forward. All right. New York won't be the same again. New York is always going to change. Just like all kinds of things are always going to change. I hate the way New York is now, but it's not my New York. It's the kids' New York that are like 25 years old and work for Wall Street and are a bunch of fucking yuppies. They have it. It's theirs. I'll go hang out at Niagara with the hardcore guys. And if I don't like what's happening, I'll just go home. That's all I can do. You got to roll with the changes. It's going to change whether you like it or not. You can't be like, well, I like this, crying in the corner. No.
But he has a right. You know, what Canadian Bacon said. Yeah. Why complain 80 years later? Yeah. And especially in 2020, in the pandemic, you know? With this coronavirus.
I mean, I've complained about the way the city is. I'm done, man. Just roll with it.
But you should be proud. You should be a proud New Yorker. You should stand up for your country.
I am. I'm proud.
For Como, for all those great people who serve your country, and stand up and say, "I'm proud to be an American. Where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the man."
I'm proud to be American. I'm proud to be from near New York City. I mean, they brought Niagara back. It was. I'm just reflecting on something current. I'm glad they brought Niagara back. The original hardcore club. Originally called A7, and I'm proud that the Yankees get to play. She said get rid of sports, but the baseball players wanted to play, and we want to watch, even if there's no
they want to entertain us,
right? Even if there's
television these days, nothing. Every single time I turn television, it's the news. It's negative. A lot of it is just negative and negative, and a lot of false things on the news. Old TV shows, opera, and I want to see sports. I don't care if there's fans or not. Hockey. No fans, but it's damn good hockey.
Yeah, I'm not really a hockey fan anymore, but you want to see hockey? You got to see hockey, right?
Hey, you come to Canada, we bleed hockey. Our marijuana is hockey, if you want to even say that.
Right. I visit Canada, even though I don't like hockey anymore. I'll catch like a local underground hockey game because I'm in the place where it's from, right?
Well, you're in New York. You know, you got the Rangers, you got the Islanders. It's a hockey town, you know? It really is.
No, where I'm from, not really. There's a sports store. I wanted to get the jersey that Messier wears. They didn't have it because they said we're not really a hockey town. And that was in my hometown. So
It
they're
is a
part.
hockey town. You guys got first overall today. The New York Rangers have won first overall in the 2020 NHL draft.
The town where I'm from wasn't a hockey town. Most of the people like basketball,
Are you in
baseball,
New
and
York City
football.
downtown? How far are you from downtown New York City where the Yankees play?
I'm like from the Bronx. It might take 30 minutes or so to get there.
Kenny, hashtag Booni 2020.
Nice.
Yes, Kenny can be the vice president for my show, and I'm the president for my show. You know?
Well,
I wanted to go back to. I wanted to ask you something about baseball. Actually, what do you think about the Philadelphia Phillies and with Bryce Harper, with his contract and his attitude and leaving Washington? He said Washington will never win a World Series, and they're 5-6, and last year they didn't even make the postseason. What do you have to say on that, Kenny?
didn't the Nationals win the
World Series last year? Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he'll. I think he even said they will never win a World Series. You know.
But they did.
Yes.
So he's wrong. What a douchebag.
Well, he was. He's one of those players that he thinks he knows it all, but he doesn't.
Some people they get in baseball, they get the money, then they get a big old hothead, and they forget, right?
Yeah.
You say they'll never win something, then you're wrong. It's like people say something, oh, this will never happen, but it will because you're saying it will never happen. It's going to happen because you could be wrong, and you are. Well, I think on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for
I want
stopping
to say
by.
a couple more
Okay.
things before you go, Kenny.
All right.
I'm just gonna let me grab my charger from my room.
Okay.
It's an honor, Kenny, that you had me on tonight. Really, it is.
No problem, man.
My prediction for the World Series is the New York Yankees facing off against the Colorado Rockies.
That sounds pretty good because it's happened. Remember the Joe Torre era? They did play them.
Yes.
I think it was 1998 they went against them. I think it was then.
Do you remember when the Yankees won the World Series? With Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez.
That was this one. That was
Yes.
2009.
Have you been to a Yankees game before?
I've been to plenty.
Now, the old Yankee Stadium or the new Yankee Stadium?
Both.
Which one's better?
Maybe this one. This one has like a whole Yankees museum and stuff. I don't think the old one had a museum.
Yeah.
It's got a Hard Rock Cafe. That's pretty cool. And the Big Four played this one.
I'm coming up to New York very shortly when the borders open up. I got to meet a few people down there, and maybe we can go watch a Yankees game and chill and have some nice steaks.
Cool.
You know.
Yeah, hopefully they open. I heard they're opening up in September.
Well, we,
Hopefully.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and President Trump are negotiating. It's tough because you guys are getting hit hard.
Yeah.
You really are. It really is sad. But
all right.
Once again, thank you very much for having me. Alhamdulillah, I'm living this good life. I'm breathing on God's time, and I ain't gonna waste one breath. Thank you very much, Kenny.
Well, maybe I'll do StreamYard with Steven, and he'll have better volume on that.
It's a lot better, my friend. It's a lot better.
Yeah.
That's the technology they use in today's day.
Maybe I'll try and do that because this doesn't take like hours. When you're using it for like hours all week, they go, you're soaking up time on our technology. We want some money over here.
Yeah.
Right. So, but you don't use it that much, they won't want any money.
For sure.
Oh, and High Pitch Eric used to work at Yankee Stadium.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Yeah, you used to work at the Hard Rock Cafe, I think.
Well,
Yeah,
we
and
gotta make a trip
I've
down.
also been to Shea back in the day. See some Mets games.
Yeah,
Have
the Mets. The Mets.
what stadiums have you been to? I'll end on this note. And which ones do you want to go to?
Well, I've only been to one stadium.
Oh,
It's called the Rogers Center. I seen the the Pittsburgh Pirates Stadium when I was going to the Steelers game with my good friend John Lodonatis from Lubbock, Texas. I want to go to Yankee Stadium. I want to go to Fenway Park. I want to go to see the Cubs. I love to go see the Brewers, and I want to go to St. Louis for sure. You know,
I for sure want to go Camden Yards and Wrigley Field, and of course Fenway Park.
Camden Yards is beautiful. Like you can sit outside, you can have a beer, you have a steak, and you know, have a good time. It's like $23.50 altogether. Plus,
I hear that you don't want to go too far beyond Camden Yards when it comes to your safety. Yeah,
it's expensive, they say, but the
I'm saying,
a pretty good price.
I mean, Baltimore. I hear it's not the safest area in the world.
Well,
or at least it used to be, because all right. See you later, Canadian.
You gotta keep your nose out of trouble. You know,
I'm just saying, like Gary Del Bate, Bapa Booey, right? Went there with his buddies years ago, and they were going to try and go further on, and the cops went right up to them and said, "Guys, no, it's not a good idea." When the cops are telling you not to go further on into the streets of Baltimore, that's not a good thing. Yeah. They listened to them. Yeah.
They did.
All right, Joe, thanks for doing this. And
no problem.
Thanks for Canadian Bacon, Nat Clo, Prince, Noob Sauce.
You're looking like a sexy pinata, Kenny, too. You're looking good, man.
Thanks. And Jennifer for coming by. Thank you, everybody. And replay people, enjoy this. I'll see you later. All right, man. All right, Joe, and I'll check your thing out 10:30. Everybody check out Joe's Sports Channel, 10:30 every Saturday night.
Yes, 10:30
on this YouTube.
We're gonna do great. We're gonna overcome things, and we are building this country no better than right now. Just remember.
All right, man.
Take care.
All right. Have a good night. All right. Thank you, Joe Booni, for showing up and doing this. Thank you for everybody that showed up. You see, you missed it, Ian. The show's over, man. Oh, and thanks, Beetlejuice, for stopping by, too. You're late, man. The show's over. But, Ian, you should rewind this and you should check out my new video. The puppets came back and did a show asking, who is Ian Alice? It was great. So that's on my channel. Maybe I'll have Ross play it when we do With Apologies on Sunday. All right. Well, thank you for everybody that stopped by. And I'm going to end it now. Be well, everybody. Stay safe. I'll see you later.